I want you to know, and I've said it over and over again, again, that human nature, human beings are evil. There's nothing good in human nature. You couldn't find it if you tried. I had a young man call the show yesterday, and I believe he was the first timer. And he was like, my mother is so good. She's so kind. She's so sweet. She's so giving. She's so such a helpful person. I'm like, really? I asked him to name something good about his mother. He named those things. Everything he named was evil. I was like, what the? Name something good. And by the end of the conversation, he realized, what the? And hopefully he's helped by that. There's nothing good in human nature. That's why you got to overcome it if you want to be free of it. But most people love their human nature. Human beings have no love. They only have fear. Human beings have no light. They only have darkness. Human beings are not awake. They're all sleeping. Human beings are blind, but they think that they can see. Isn't that amazing? Human beings call hate love and love hate. And then have no real gratitude. They don't, you hear them, especially the Christians, they say, oh, I feel God. But they don't feel God. What the? I want to give you an example here of an evil, nasty, wicked female. Ungrateful, wicked to the core female, which should not be in our country. And she definitely should not be in our government. She should not have a position as a politician or anything in the American government. This woman is evil. She's the same female that America gave a home to by allowing her to come here under this idea that she was a refugee. She claimed to be a refugee, and America said, come on in. And she came into our country with the same evil ideas about America. Think about that. And Americans are so out to lunch, they voted this enemy of America into government. And then I guess you could be like a lawmaker, all that kind of stuff. This is why I say you get the type of government you deserve. You voted in this female, and you're getting what you deserve. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. Well, it's not going to even get better. What the? You know, that's a saying, get worse before it get better. It's not going to get better. Now, it'll get better for the individual who overcome the world. It could be better for you, but it's not going to get better for the world. I want you to think about this. Think about this. Ilhan, whatever Han. Ilhan, whatever her name is a black female who claimed to be from in a country where she needed to be saved from. And America said, come on in. I say we should never have foreigners running our government, but okay. And they let her in. And she hates America. She's never on the side of America. Think about this. There was a parade, a 250 year parade celebration for the military, for the army. And Ilhan, whatever her name is, doesn't matter, hated it. She did not like it at all. And she's from Somalia, I believe. At least she was born in Somalia. Just think about that. We let a Somalian come into our country. And then there are people who are upset that we let a handful of white Americans come into their own country, because white people built the greatest country. People are mad about that, but not mad that you let this black female who hate America after America gave her a place of safety and she turned on the country. There should be somebody in government who can have a voting thing there on the table and get rid of this woman. From government, at least. She's the same woman that when the 9/11 thing happened, no, not the 9/11, the attack, I think. Was that the attack when she said something happened somewhere?
That was 9/11.
That was 9/11? Something happened somewhere? And she was speaking to that organization called CARE. And you know CARE hate America. It's hard for me to believe that CARE is in our country, and they are so anti-American, not even funny. So Ilhan, whatever you want to call her, Somalian female, some people did something. Some people did something speaking to CARE. CARE is the Center for American Islamic Relations in our country. Why don't you go over there and be Center for Islamic Relations? Y'all need it over there. If ever you needed a relationship, you need what you needed over there. What you doing over here, well, you need it over there. Bring the boys home. Bring them back alive. I interviewed people from CARE. It was a mess. But Ilhan Omar in our country, as a refugee, no wonder Trump sent them all back, as many as he can. And these people fighting to prevent that from happening because they want mess in this country. They want you afraid. They want you living in fear. And they want you unarmed, meaning so that you can't protect yourself. And you vote for them. Who's crazier, the voter or the votee? Who's crazier? How could anyone vote for this female to be in our government? Think about that. And she wear a head rag every day. And you're not supposed to wear a head rag every day because it dries your hair out. And then your hair fall out once it dries out. But this female in America wearing a head rag every day in our government. But this female, Ilhan, whatever her name is, did not like the fact we celebrated 250 years of our military. The people who made it possible for her to live freely in America. Sky News is reporting. Far-left U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar, or Ilhan, or wherever she want to be, has been blasted online for claiming America is turning into one of the worst countries. So if this is the worst country, why don't she go back to the best country? Why is she here? If this is the worst country, why does she need it saved, to be saved from Somalia or whatever country she was in? Why? If this is the worst one. You went from a good country to a worse country? And what is keeping you here? You can always go back home or somewhere. You don't have to stay. You're not stuck here. Follow Rosie O'Donnell wherever she went. Watch this from Sky News.
To be coming out of our country. I mean, I grew up in a dictatorship. And I don't even remember ever witnessing anything like that. To have a democracy, a beacon of hope for the world to now be turned into one of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regard for people's constitutional rights, while our president is spending millions of dollars propping himself up like a failed dictator with a military parade.
Go figure. One of the worst countries, she said. The military made it possible for her to be here. And she's saying thank you by saying you're the worst thing in the street. It was a parade, remind you. It was a parade that all Americans should have been celebrating. And it was so white. It was beautiful, the parade. And white people out there, it was so white. Because white people know how to celebrate and appreciate America. It reminds me of the good old days when I would see them on the 4th of July and out celebrating, happy and grinning and taking time off from their hard work or hard education, and they were celebrating. White people love a first-hand life, first-class life, and they were out there celebrating the military. And while Ilhan up there bitching about it, a black female who white people brought into their country. And she's saying that this is the worst country, one of the worst. So the country she left under this idea that she was a refugee, that wasn't the worst. You never seen a dictator before? Why they vote for this female? I'm asking the anchor baby because anchor baby been out there with the folks. He been like on the front line, like the military.
Yeah, I heard you say, like, I just don't know how people could vote for her. And I thought I'd point out something obvious about Minnesota's 5th Congressional District, which she represents. It's from Ballotpedia and Wikipedia. They have a concentration of Somali Americans, they call them. They have a concentration of Somalian people and Muslim people.
Really?
To visualize it, 1 in 7 Somalis in the whole country are in this one district.
Whoa.
You know, I think you could start there.
That's a little Somalian town now. That's crazy. That's in Michigan?
They simply voted for her because they...
Where is that?
Yeah.
Minnesota, you say?
The 5th Congressional District of Minnesota.
And don't they have like a little Somalian town in Michigan too somewhere? Or maybe I'm thinking Muslim. Yeah, Allah Abba.
I'm not sure, but I've definitely heard of the collection of Muslims in Minnesota.
That is crazy. What went wrong? What went wrong, America? This black female. Now you see why I say you don't want black people to take over your government? Your government, they're going to rule over you like they're doing South Africa right now, over the whites there. And there is a genocide upon the whites in Africa. South Africa, it's coming here. It's here already. It's in the making. That's why Ilhan, whatever her name is, she can say that openly on TV. She knows you're not going to do anything because she's going to say, oh, you're racist. Oh, you hate women. You're that, and you're going to back down. Well, I won't back down. I won't be turned around. But you back down. How can you win a war if you back down during the war? How can you overcome fear if you back down from the fear? You overcome fear by going through the fear. You overcome fear in your weakness. You can't wait until you get strong and then I'm gonna go be brave. You be strong in your weakness and help will come. This is absolutely insane that this black female from a foreign country, a so-called refugee, is in government. She's like a Congress job or something like that. And she's in our government and the enemy of America. There's another one from Allah country. What's her name?
Rashida Tlaib.
Yeah, Tlaib.
Rashida Tlaib.
She's another American-hated female in our government. How did that happen? She's from Palestine, right? How did that happen? No wonder those Palestinians can come here and say death to America. They can chant death to America. And God forbid, and I hope I'm wrong, I want to be wrong on this one. If America go to war with Iran, what they're feeling in Israel, it's going to be happening here in America. You can expect suicide bombing, all kind of destruction coming. Because these people have no love for America. Even the ones that live here don't love America. Ilhan is a proof of that. And you voted for her. I remember that Tlaib female from Palestine, Allah country, she said, we're going to impeach the MFers. Talking about Donald Trump, the great white hope. We're going to impeach the MFer. She said this about Trump when she first got elected. That's from CBS or CBS News. CBS News. We're going to impeach the MFer, a foreigner in our government. She said that back in 2019. How did this, talking about being asleep at the wheel, you vote in the enemy to run your government. It was bad enough to be voting in black American females and black American liberal males. You voted in a foreigner who hate America. What kind of information is she giving to our enemies? What is she saying to them? I don't know, but would you trust that she's not telling them information? Inside scoops? I don't know, but I've been told Jesus passed through Jericho. Amazing.